lived in San Francisco and New York before living in San Miguel, and worked mostly with technology companies and products and marketing.
Originally from Minnesota, and then I moved to New York to cut hair.
Well, I was born in Paris, and I left Paris when I was 21, and then I traveled more or less all around the world, and ended up in Charleston, South Carolina, where I lived for 18 years.
I'm originally from Shelby, North Carolina, and I've been drawing since the age of 3. I've always been an artist.
I'm originally from Mexico City, born and raised in Mexico City.
I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Oh, part of our life has been artisan work.
I'm a social worker. I had a psychotherapy practice in Little Rock and then in Boulder. Taught at the University of Arkansas and at Rutgers in New Jersey.
I'm from New York City area. I am a social entrepreneur and I launch nonprofit organizations.
I came from the Houston area. I was a used car dealer for about 45 years.
Well, I was a psychotherapist.
I was in the real estate property management business.
We are Canadians from Toronto. We're self-employed artists, and we had our business in Canada for 10 years before we decided to move to San Miguel.
I was a creative director in New York City.
We're from Dallas, and I was a project manager in the corporate real estate department for a large corporation.
I was semi-retired. I basically bought and sold small businesses.
Originally from northern Minnesota, where now it's like 15 below zero. I moved here from Forestville, California, which is in the wine country in Sonoma County.
Joy was a nurse in the States. I was in trust banking and retired.
Well, we came from Seattle. My work was in international relief and development.
We spent the last about 23 years living in New Zealand. No, but in New Zealand I worked part-time in a few little odd jobs.
I had my own interior design business for the past 20 years in the San Diego County area of California. Both of us working together in it.
I was in the antique business for 35 or 40 years in Colorado mostly, and Wendy was in the corporate world traveling coast to coast.
I was the director of the American School of Madrid.
I am from San Luis Potosí. I am Mexican.
I was born and reared in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1979, I relocated to the Hawaiian Islands, owned some furniture stores, found out in my 30s I had a desire to write. I was born in Canada, but I came here from Central America.
I was born in London. I'm an architect. Before I came here to San Miguel, I was in the Middle East. I lived in Kuwait.
I'm in destination real estate, and I travel the world with my job, actually. 15 years in the U.S., a little bit of time in Panama, the Republic of Panama, and after spending some time in Panama, I came right back to San Miguel.
Both Nick and I are naturopathic physicians.
I was born in Los Angeles, spent some time in Colorado where I met Carol. We moved to Boston.
I have been a lawyer for the past, 20-some years.
I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I was a headhunter and a personal trainer.
I'm originally from Virginia, moved to Dallas. Family's from Dallas. There I was an IT consultant, technology director for a restaurant company.
I came here from Virginia. I was working as a chiropractor.
When I was in New York, before I had children, I was in the commodities industry. I'm from New York.
Oh, before I came, I was a television news reporter and an advertising copywriter in Chicago. And then I left both those professional jobs behind, moved to Philadelphia where I was born to try to write a book.
I am from Webster Groves, Missouri, and have traveled literally all over the world.
We paint, we collage.
We weld, we assemble, we give lectures on history of art and philosophy and literature, and starting from scratch.
It's called Life Path Center.
I do building.
I help him with the accounting, and I help him with a lot of the suppliers. And
I have a psychotherapy practice down here.
Yes, I don't do anything but walk around San Miguel.
I work in a bank. I am the manager in the bank.
It's called microcurrent therapy for injury and muscle repair.
So I opened my used bookstore. I also do conferences for teachers and parents.
I do event planning.
I do training on harassment and discrimination issues, but I try to do it via the internet.
I work by broadband, by internet, with a consulting firm in Washington, using video conferencing, secure video conferencing.
Scripts, film scripts, and novels, stage, a lot of journalism, essay work. I don't write poetry or many checks to myself.
I am bringing tours of people down to San Miguel.
I have about 16 other things that I do.